Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys a real cheap but effective method on how to prevent your Hellcat, SRT, RT, doesn't matter if it's a modern Mopar with a push button ignition, you know, whether it's got the little red insert or the black insert for that ignition. I'll show y'all a real quick and easy and cheap way to more than likely prevent it from getting stolen. It's a real simple yet overlooked method, and I have one in every single car I have. This one has the old style version of it where it's hooked to the distributor. Obviously these that are now electronic, you don't have that. But very simple, guys. I'm trying to spread the word out for a while now. So basically what we're gonna do is, you see, this is pretty much every Hellcat ignition looks like this if it's stock. Doesn't matter. They're all push button ignitions. And even, like I said, it's not a Hellcat, it still has this type of ignition. This is everything you'll need. Realistically, most of you probably have this stuff in stock. Now, I just got this stuff just to kind of restock. So, total of all this was only $33. But realistically, if you have wire connectors, wire, electrical tape, and some prongs, which most of you do in your toolboxes that are handy, all you need is an $8 switch from any auto parts store. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to come up in here. Okay, so see how you can see this has power. Well, that's how they steal these cars. So this one, being a manual, is even easier to steal than an automatic. So what they'll do is they'll break a window somehow, however they break the window. Now they'll crawl in or unlock it, do whatever. There's a thing down here they plug into, which kind of routes a key for this type of ignition. But the problem is there's power to this all the time. So if we can cut the power to this, doesn't matter how they break in, doesn't matter if they zap the thing down there, right, to steal this car. Now mind you, I'll show the charger here in a minute. My charger was stolen literally this exact way. So I'm kind of dedicating some videos on anti-theft here. Now, it wasn't stolen when I had it. I bought it after it was stolen. That's how I ended up with it. But, you know, what they did on that car, let me just show y'all. What they did on that car was they broke in through the rear window. Now, what they like to do on these is break in through these rear windows because it won't trigger the alarm. And so they broke in through this window here, right? And you can kind of see it's different glass. I haven't gotten around to tinting it yet. They broke in through this window, crawled their little skinny ass through here, ripped that little plastic piece down there down, plugged in, zapped the thing, and they were gone. Well, they can't do that now. Oh, and also what they do on these chargers, these automatics, I have a little plate covering it, which doesn't really fit the greatest. I bought it for this car, but I think they gave me one for like a Challenger or something instead, but it still works. This normally isn't here. There's normally your little neutral tab. They pull up on that, then they can wheel the car anywhere they want because these cars are all loud. So that's how they steal them. They wheel them down the block, plug their little zapper thing in, rewire their own key with that little control box, and they're gone. Well, they can't on this car. You know why? Look, foot's on the brake and everything, right? See, it lights up. No power. No power to that. Why? Now, I'm not going to show you guys where the switch is in this car. That's your imagination, and where you want to put yours is your business. But obviously, the harder you make it for someone to find it, the easier, you know, the more chances it's not going to get stolen. But it doesn't matter. They can break in all they want, fine. Unless they're somehow getting this car in neutral, which now is harder, right, than it normally was. They pull this off. See that? Oh fuck, unless they pull all this off and they still have to somehow get that plate off, they can't get the car in neutral. And mind you, this is all adding time. A lot of these guys that steal these cars, as soon as they run into a first roadblock like this or that, they're out. Because, you know, if you're gonna break into a car and try to steal it, it takes time. So the more things you do to prevent that and slow them down, the good chance your car is not going to get stolen. Okay, so definitely, if you have an automatic, definitely recommend getting some kind of lockout plate. Now I'm going to do another plate kind of over this to really like get it a little bit more even and really lock it out. Then I might write you know, some words of encouragement on there, and if you have a good imagination you can know what I want to write on there. But yeah, with that being said, you know, you got to somehow get the car, make it hard for it to get into neutral. On these automatics it's real easy. So you block out this, right, the best you can. Add time to them trying to steal it, because there's a good chance they're going to give up. Wire we're going to do today, I'm going to show you on the Challenger. I already did this car, and when I had my TRX I did it on that too. There's a red, a black, and I believe a white wire that runs to this push button. All it is the red wire, guys. It's very simple. We're just going to wire in a switch to interrupt that red wire, to where we'll have to flip a switch wherever we decide to hide it in the car. Obviously out of sight, out of mind, make it harder for these guys to try to steal your stuff. And then when you do end up flipping that switch, okay, now you got power, right? Real simple. Now it'll run. And then you hit that switch off, boom. No lights on that, no lights in this outer ring, no power of the ignition. Doesn't matter, foot's on the brake and everything. Nope, not starting. Okay, so I mean, you know, if they want the car and they're really willing to put up a fight, they could obviously steal it. But the thing is, something as cheap as this, 8 out of 10 times, 9 out of 10 times, is more than likely going to prevent theft. Because they're going to break in as soon as they hit that first roadblock, they're gone. Because they don't have time. They usually do not have time. If it's in your driveway, it's in the city or something, they normally do not have that much time. As soon as they hit a roadblock, okay, fine, they hit this first roadblock. All right, then they try this, boom, 2 roadblocks, 9 out of 10 times they're gonna give up. Okay, these guys, I mean, they don't work, so why would they be willing to put extra work in to steal your car, right? So we're gonna get back on the Challenger here, and I'll show y'all how we gotta do it and what's the best way to do it. That's 71 though. Yeah, it's not too hard. It's pretty simple, guys. Realistically, I think all you really need tool wise is just some wire strippers, and you know, either you could use a flathead on this piece I have in the Charger, and it worked. It's a little janky though, I'm not gonna lie, but if you have like a trim, you know, a trim remover tool, that's best. But a flathead will work, you just got to be careful. So let me get some tools on here, we'll get access to this, and I'll show you guys what we're talking about and what we got to do. All right, y'all, let's tear into this thing now. I recommend starting in this corner here. Again, you could use a flathead, and that's what I decided to use a flathead because that's what most of y'all are going to end up using. Real easy. So you're gonna hear, don't be afraid of that little pop now. That's all right, it just sits in these little grooves and it's supposed to pop out, but don't go hard on it because you'll snap those clips off. Those clips are important. And you get down on the bottom here. Okay, see that? We got that pretty loose. That's what you want. Then we'll follow it up yonder here. All right. Okay, hear that? That's all we need. I'm working a couple of 6-inch sections to get these out. You want to hear that release, okay? You just don't want to break it either, though. Come on, girl. There we go. Another one. Okay. It's a little greasy, guys. I ain't gonna lie, pulling this out, but it's worth it. See how we got movement? We're doing all right. There we go. All right, hopefully we don't break any clips. Second time doing this, so I should be all right. Move that baby in the second gear. There it is. See how it just pops out like that? There it is. That's how you know you did it. Now you have, let's see, there we go. Popped out just like that. And let's say we didn't break, yep, we didn't break a single clip, guys. So that's how you do that. All right, you can use a flathead without breaking these, but like I said, I'd recommend starting this top left corner, then work your way down. You do this spot first, then do down here, work it a little bit there, then come up here, then work in like 6-inch sections, because see where these clips are? pretty much every 6 inches. And now we have all this access. I mean, if you need to take this screen out, this radio, here you go. You know, it's as easy as that. But now we have access to our start-stop switch, okay? Now on the Chargers and Challengers, unfortunately, the plug for it is at the very bottom of this. So I got fat fingers. I'm not going to be able to get the camera really and show you. I mean, I might be able to show if, I don't know. You're probably not going to be able to see that. So yeah, it's just a clip. You literally unplug it, and then we'll work with what we have there. So let's work on doing that. See if we can get up in there. You could probably spin the, yeah, you could spin this, guys. So I would recommend spinning this a little bit. Make it easier on you. Okay, I can now feel the tip, I think. Nope. Okay, there we go. All right. So, all it is a typical Dodge connector, right? You just push down on this tab here. That releases it, okay? So now you can see the wires we have. See the red one here? The red one's what we're after. That's the power wire to the ignition switch. All we have to do is just wire a switch to it and interrupt it. So we'll get down here. I'm gonna try to work this cover off of it here before we get to cutting. All right, y'all, as you can see, got it in. Okay, shut that down. Ready to fire. Hit the switch where it's hidden. Clutch is depressed. Nothing, you're not stealing this car. That simple, guys. It's all you gotta do. You hide it wherever you want. And just like that, you keep this car from getting stolen.